for the serious gamer.
Hey, it's Spider by NextGenTactics.com. This is Season 1. We're on the Sever Faction, Episode 2. This is our first game of Suppression, and this is Part 2 of that game. We discussed a bunch of things in Part 1. Part 2, I guess maybe I'll mention a few things. Some of the stuff that I've learned as I've gone through and have played now, I'm actually, I think I'm level 12. Wow, my aiming really sucks there. I think I'm actually level 12 now or something. And what I find with, I think Suppression is probably the worst game type you can play initially. I mean, maybe a couple games just to get used to the controls, but it can be really unbalanced because if you got... I'm shooting my own guy, nice. You can... there are a lot of unlocks, and let's say you're a sniper. I mean, there are so many unlocks for the sniper rifle that if you're up against some guy who's, you know, like level 40 or level 50 on suppression, and he's got, you know, a 4x zoom, he's got a 4 grip, he's got a bipod on his sniper rifle, you're really not going to have a chance versus him being like a level 2 with the sniper rifle that you start with. So I really think your best bet initially is, yeah, okay, play a few games of Suppression, maybe a little bit of run and gun. I mean, it's the same map. If you're on the Sever faction, there's only one map for Suppression. There are two other maps for Suppression, but you have to be a member of one of the other factions or the other factions to play them. So I'd recommend, you know, going into Sabotage and playing that game because that can be a lot more balanced. Sabotage, we're going to actually go through a game, but you'll see how much more balanced it can be, provided you play it right. I mean, if you're just going to run out to the open and get sniped by that same sniper, then obviously it's not going to work for you. But, so we're just trying to find these guys. I mean, it's just sort of a wide open area here in the middle, and we have our AK-74U, so it's not that great long range, but I mean, you can pulse fire it and actually be fairly somewhat effective getting guys at a longer range. And we've gotten a lot better. Again, we've played... It's been a full day, but I put a lot of hours into playing, and I'm far better than what I'm showing here. But again, I wanted this series of videos. Again, it is, you know, Season 1 being while I'm on the Sever faction. I really wanted to show you a progression of me going through a game. I mean, again, I mentioned this in the first video. I haven't played this game before. I didn't play the beta, nothing. So I'm starting fresh. I read a little bit about it because I don't want to go into something cold. You know, I want to know a little bit about it. So, you know, I do know about the factions. I do know about the respawning, that sort of thing. But other than that, I have no idea. So, you know, even in the last day, I've progressed so much, you know, as far as figuring out, you know, and I'm going to present this in a video, what's the best strategy for ranking up early on? And I'm ranking up quite fast. I actually went up, you know, the last couple games. Actually, in one game, I went up almost 3 levels in one game of domination. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And you can do it on, maybe not so much on Suppression, but you can do it on Sabotage, which is one of the games that you do have unlocked, the game types that you do have unlocked right off the bat. And I don't know if we're getting close to the end here. We got some funky music going on. But yeah, so even in Suppression, I mean, you can use this strategy and you're going to rank up really fast. And that's going to provide you with the other unlocks that you're going to use for your weapons. So you know, I think that'll be really good. And level, actually, you get Sabotage, I think, right away. I think you unlock... can't remember the one game type, but all the game types are unlocked by level 8. So once you reach level 8, all the game types are unlocked. And there's actually one game mode where you the servers actually direct you which game to enter, because again, these being big games, and they go quite a bit longer than normal first-person shooter games. You know, longer than 10 minutes typically. The domination games, I think, can go like a half an hour. So when people come in and out, there's actually a game option for entering games to allow you to the servers, or allow the servers to basically select which game you're needed in. So I think that's a pretty good feature. So you can jump into games that are already in progress. It won't automatically put you in games in progress, unlike Modern Warfare 2, which pisses me off to no end, especially when you're in Search and Destroy and you get shoved in a game where it's 3-0 and it's the 4th round and you're on the nothing team and it's 5v1. It's like, oh, thank you very much for putting me into that game. So I'm actually really starting to enjoy this game a lot more. I mean, initially, again, it was a little bit frustrating just on Suppression, because I don't typically play team deathmatch games. I like objective games so much better, and all the other game types are objective, so it's really nice. And if your team is not operating as a team, well, you're going to feel it, because you're not going to do so well. See, tracking that guy. Again, my sensitivity is down low. I end up knifing him. My sensitivity is down pretty low. I think it's at 50. I actually have it bumped up to, I think, 90 or something like that. I think I had it at 100 and I bumped it down a little bit to 90. So that's what I'm going to stick with for a little while anyway. And there's been a lot of questions about, you got 256 players running around. Like, that's insane. Like, the battlefield is just going to be insane. But the thing is, the 256 player games, 128 versus 128, are solely on the domination game type. And the maps are so huge, and there are so many objectives to complete that it actually works out really nicely. Initially in domination, you're protecting... I think there are 2 main towers that you have to protect, and a bunch of anti-aircraft guns and whatnot. And you're either protecting them or trying to attack them. Let's put it that way. But the teams are pretty much split in 2 right off the bat because you have the 2 towers. So now you're down to 64 by 64, and then you have your 4 squads of 8, which again are broken down, and they may be attacking one target over another. So it's really like you have this massive action game. yes, the massive action game. But then you have all these sub games within that massive action game. So the sub games, it's really broken down. That's where they can, and I think I saw a video about them talking about it. Zipper Interactive, when they were actually developing the game, they talked about it, where they can break it down so that the data only needs to transfer for your particular area. So you're not actually transferring data for 256 players from player to player. So that really cuts down the lag. So here, I just made it to level 3. You get a skill point every level, and I'll go through some in the barracks and skills and weapons and whatnot. So I got 72 XP, 12 kills, 9 deaths, with a 5 kill streak. So that's not too bad. Again, that's not my game. I came in 4th for our squad. But yeah, not my game. I have some much more impressive scores coming to you with the other game types. And yeah, that's it. So that was part 2 of our first game of Suppression. Hope you liked it. For more strategies and tactics, visit www.nextgentactics.com. I'm Spiderbite, and I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to go play some more. Thanks, guys.